next we have council. The Boards and Commission Committee met, and we're filling the expired term of Mr. Richard Keir. And to that term, we're giving a recommendation to the Police and Fire Retirement Board of Mr. Dwayne Garth. And Mr. Garth, you can wait until after we have a full motion for approval. Thank you. And we also have the reappointment of the Southfield Building Authority to Mr. Sam Hayes. Do you have a motion?
Yeah, Madam President, I move for the appointment to the Fire and Police Retirement System Board of Dwayne Garth.
We have a motion by Councilman Moss, supported by Councilman Frazier.
Madam Chair.
Councilman Sabati.
Madam Chair, I'd like to table this item. Mr. Garth is here, and I hate to do this, but we had one applicant for that position, and I've sat in on this board, and they have not really filled that well. And as you know, they lost over $12 million, and we as taxpayers have paid 6%, because that's the only pension system which, if it's short, it's levied against the city, and the residents, businesses have to pay it. And so I would like to set up another meeting on police and fire system board, just see how it is. You haven't looked at it in a long time on how it generates its checks and balances, and in other words, take the pattern of what the service is and what the city does in Denver, where we have somebody that looks at where they put the money, and then somebody checks it on a regular basis to see what percentage profit they make, so that we don't fall into the same predicament, and I call it a serious one, where the residents and businesses of the city have up 6% in tax bill because of the deficiency in the pension fund. And this is not in opposition to this gentleman. It's not for Mr. Keir. I have no feelings either way, but I am concerned about how that group is functioning. And we have 2 appointments to that, and I am sorry that, I'm not even familiar with what our other appointment does on the board.
Councilwoman.
Councilwoman, President. The $12 million that was lost has been lost over a period of time, and we have to remember that we are in a recession that has affected many investments. So this isn't anything that has really hurt us. It might sound big, but it's been over a period of time. I would just like to say that I've done a little research on our pension board and our pension organization, and we are ranked in the top 25% in the entire U.S. United States. One of the most financially healthy and best-run plans in the state, and in the top 25% in the United States. So to say that we're in trouble is just not factual. I would like to have a thorough discussion to see where we are. I think that's certainly due us, because obviously we're not all on the same page about what the health of this organization. There's no retiree on the pension board. I really would like a delay. I think, and I will speak on behalf of Mr. Keir. He is highly regarded in the entire United States and in his peer group, highly ranked and highly regarded. So I'm concerned that we're being kind of pushed in the corner, saying that our performance is bad, when in fact we are in the top 25% in the entire country. And I think that bears repeating. Thank you.
Well, I heard something that I concur with, so I will go along with what they both say, but for different reasons, to have it passed on.
Yeah, as to the chorus here, like I said, on the committee meeting with Councilman Jordan, and I don't disagree with what Councilman Perkowski said, but, having interviewed the applicant and very comfortable with his background I'm okay with kind of a council audit of the functions of all the boards and commissions and appointments we make, but I don't know that we would reach the same conclusion that this is the right person that we should make, we should appoint. I think we can go forward with both. We still have another council appointment that's coming up on this board. And so I'm at a point, having sat on those interviews and doing, my own research as we got these applicants, that I could go forward with the motion and still do what Councilman Perkowski said, maybe a council audit or a council overview of some of the appointments we do make and a progress report on the board.
Madam Chair, if I may.
I'm a little confused. I don't disagree that there was a problem in the past, but I don't understand why not appointing the applicant would make a difference of whether or not we do a review of how the organization functions. And in addition, our treasurer sits on the same board. So if there are any red flags that should go up about how it functions currently, I would hope that our treasurer is paying attention and set up any red flags. He can't do anything about what happened before he became our treasurer, but for now, I just don't see the wisdom of not appointing a person that has the credentials that this applicant has and still do the review.
Yes, I guess one of the things that bothers me is the board will have to train this new person. He has a lot of credentials, but the board will have to train him and dealing with this pension board. And I don't understand how this is going to benefit the work of the pension board. We've taken a person who's got a national reputation, who's done, all this story about how badly it's done, we've done enormously well. This fund is doing great, and it's documented. So this to me is puzzling. Nothing against the applicant. I'm sure he's a fine person and has great credentials, but I think we're just going in the wrong direction.
Madam Chair.
I just want to respond in terms of the board has to train this individual. They don't have to train anyone who is put on that board. However, when you look at this individual's resume and you look at his qualifications, he has had previous experience in working in this very narrow sort of field. So I just strongly agree that we need to move forward and do not see any advantage in waiting because we will have to appoint
But my
an
point is,
individual to this board.
but if I may, my point is that we have an existing person that has his term is up, should be allowed to continue because of his expertise and his national reputation and the great performance he's done. And we're just saying goodbye and we'll start all over with somebody new. We're not in trouble, and that concerns me that we're taking this action.
But the fact that we are in trouble when we have an increase in millage. The other point is, serving on any board in the city of Southfield is actually a privilege and a luxury, and it's not a right, which is why we have the terms expire. So because you're appointed to a board, it doesn't mean that it's a lifetime
I
commitment.
agree with you 100%.
So I'm just not understanding.
My concern is the benefit to us. My concern, Madam Chair, is the benefit to us. I'm not concerned that this individual have a lifelong appointment. The benefit to us is to maintain the expertise that we have. And we're in great shape for the millage is something that we can't control. I mean, to say that we're in bad shape, the whole economy has gone downhill, and we've paid a price for that. But talk to the experts in the field, and we are in great shape. We are one of the most respected groups in the country, in the top 25%. That tells you something. It didn't happen by mistake or by accident. Anyway, that's fine. I will not be supporting this appointment.
So, Ms. Ward, how do we?
We have a motion.
We have a motion.
We have a motion. Madam Chair, I still would like to make a comment.
Yes, Councilman.
And let me say this is what difference does it make by appointing one person to this board, because it really won't make a difference. appointment to this board is important.
Absolutely.
Because this board is the only one where when you have a loss, the residents pick up the tab. And we don't have full say of that board. You only have 2 appointments to that board. And so it's very important that those 2 individuals not only speak with their board, but carry the votes from the remaining group. And I just think that, you know, when they say it's the top 25, sure, it's top 25, you lost 12 million, so the 6% that everybody paid out of the taxes, that wasn't given back, that was gone. We paid it and it's lost. They took it out of the pocketbook, didn't buy groceries with it, or anything else, they lost 6% on the tax bill. So, yes, investments are that way. You get ups and downs. But back here, you got one holding company that had a $6 million mortgage loan, last made a $40,000 interest payment on 10/20/11. No further payments were forthcoming from November 2011 to September 12 as a result of pending loan renewal and repayment negotiations. The board approved a write-down of $2.58 million. So, I mean, it's still happening, whether you talk about over a period of time, you recoup it, you know, this is current. This is 2009 through 2012. This is 13, it's what, 5 months away, 6 months away. So, it's not, like I said, it's becoming, you know, it's a concern of mine. It is not who is appointed. It is that this board has to be looked at. We have 2 votes on that board. They have to be strong votes. And I just don't think that you have to have enough power there to carry the weight or change the system so that we have checks and balances that we have for sewers and the one that we have on our own investments so that we can have somebody that checks and see whether the percentage is the average, top 25, lower 25, whatever, to protect the residents' business in this city. And that's all I'm trying to say. I'm not voting against it. I want to table it and discussion. Tell them how this appeared tonight. This appeared the first time I've seen this application, and the name was tonight. All right? But I should say Friday when I got my word. And so, you know, it's not like we sat down and discussed it amongst each other before it got into
But I have to clarify, that's not the process. The process is it goes to the board and commission committee of the city council, and we interview individuals that we want to.
It is a special kind of money.
And
It costs our people money.
Absolutely, and this individual is highly qualified to fill that position.
Yeah.
Councilman, Frazier.
Yeah, you know, I'm still sort of confused, and it seems to me that Ms. Seymour is arguing against her own argument. And her argument is, we have this world expert on the committee. He was on the committee when they lost $12 million. And I just think that this candidate has the qualifications, and whether or not a person has to learn, everybody has to learn when they get on something new, but with his background, you have to be a pretty quick study. And it's not like you're bringing someone in that doesn't understand anything, and they have to go to the basic training. And I don't disagree with what Mr. Percassi is saying, because I think this board does have implications that if they don't do it right, it costs everybody money. And I think we do need to review it. But I don't understand why we can't review it with a new mix. It's just as well as we could with another. And I don't know what delaying it is going to buy us, other than we're not reviewing the individuals. We're reviewing the process. And it doesn't seem to me that it makes any difference who the individuals are if we're reviewing the process.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I want to talk about this investment that everybody's talking about. This is a real estate investment. And it did at some point lose money, but in the beginning, it was a very good investment. The people that invested, Detroit invested, Pontiac invested, Southfield invested, others did. Money was made. People made great profit. Over a period of time, lost money, but all real estate lost money. If you just look at this because it's real estate and say this is a bad investment, this was a good investment. People made money on it, and that's documented. And if you want to take the time, it's news to some of us that this is happening, but don't blame the loss on the individuals. The real estate market has been terrible through this economic recession. Originally, it was a good investment, even though there was some concern about how it came about. It was a healthy investment. It made money, and that's documented.
All right, we currently have a motion on the floor.
Chair, I would just like to clarify just one thing here on the record. This was received February 14th of 2013. But I read to you just so that everybody knows that this is current information.
We have a motion for by Councilman Long, supported by Councilman Frazier, to approve the appointment of Dwayne Clark to the Police and Fire Retirement Board. And Deputy Clerk, can you do a roll call?
Yes. Mr. Lance?
No.
Mr. Moss?
Yes.
Ms. Seymour?
No.
To maintain the integrity of the committee, I read the gentleman's qualifications and they are substantial, but I just have to get this point across to this council that this board is a board that we have to look at, and I hope that this gentleman does some trouble, yes, and but make sure that next time when that other person comes up with no reflection, that we find out in its entirety, I don't intend to sit there and have our taxpayers pay any more money than they already are paying.
Thank you.
So is that a yes or no?
Yes.
Ms. Jordan?
Yes.
We have 4 votes in support.
Thank you. Motion.
So I don't need any comments, Madam Chair, I don't need any comments from the audience. They can go out and lobby a minute.
That's exactly what I was going to say. This is our regular meeting of the city council. We do not want any applause or any noise from the peanut gallery.
Madam Chair,
Councilman.
I think we should take Mr. Picasso's words to heart and set up an opportunity to review the function of this committee and maybe the finance committee ought to take a look at it to see how this board operates, see if there are any more checks and balances that need to be applied to this board in order to protect the finances of our community.
Thank you.
Madam President.
There's actually another appointment to this board that has to be filled within the next few months, so I totally agree.
Madam President, I didn't hear did you say it?
Yes.
You just made a speech. People have been, and a lot of people should be that.
Mr. Councilman, can you take your hand off of the mic? It's static. If you could just pull it closer to your mouth.
Hey, Mr. Mayor, you give me an opportunity to speak to you. We had a discussion prior to this meeting about the board, and the reflection that I had was that this thing needed to have council's immediate attention. We did not discuss whether for or against this applicant, but basically the whole conversation was the importance of this board and the loss that occurred, and that the residents had to pay 6%.
Okay,
We
heard all that. But, what we didn't say is what happened another time, and another time, and another time on that board.
That's not necessary. We're talking, we want to move forward. We really want to move forward.
No, I'm going to stick to my no, and everybody has to understand that this is not the only issue that we're voting on. But the other one
moving forward. There were losses in the past. However, we've got one individual on the board, and we're looking to move forward and not have any more increases, hopefully in our millage. And we're starting from ground zero today. So we're not looking to rehab any past decisions. But what can we do as a city council to make this board more secure in the decisions that
What is wrong today, what is wrong long ago, what is wrong in the middle is still valid. There were things wrong. You can't erase wrong. You can't erase Denzel for being a felon. The taxes for the price for felon. We have trouble here, and you will all vote, okay, just washing it away. Go ahead.
Madam Chair, could
I just want to say for the record that I 100% support a review of the fire and police investment plan. And I know that the civil service retirement plan is performing better than the fire and police plan. And so that regardless of the rating, for us to keep our taxes competitive with other communities, it is essential that the council meet and review the investment, review as you have tonight, the people who sit on that board, and we need an update. We get updates from the Civil Service Retirement Commission board and that's due that we have that same one, because every year quietly we increase the taxes to our taxpayers because of the performance of that. And we must be informed. I think it's essential that you establish a routine method to keep you up to date, so it's not the last 25 years or it's not six months ago. How can the council, in your role as policy, really stay on top of it and communicate concerns? Because I tell you, when we look at our taxes for the city of Southfield, that is a major contributor to the increase. And we attack every other area, and it's essential for this body to be just as informed and just as involved, and let that commission know that we're in this together. No one's fighting against them, but they have a role, and we have a role, and we need to connect with that. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Two things I want to say. First of all, my preference, and I didn't make that clear in the beginning, is that Dick Tire, Richard Tire, who has been with President of this board for 25 or 35 years and done a fabulous job by all accounts, wanted to stay on for another term, at least finish, to stay on for another term and retire. And my support really is for him because he's done a fabulous job. It's not against this individual, but if I had to make a choice, I want the experience and the knowledge that we've had that has kept us in good stead. I don't think everyone in the council or all of our elected officials are really informed as to what's going on. Police and fire pension board is 82% funded. Our third board is 68% funded, so it's clear that police and fire is doing better. And that's a statement of fact.